Again, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who has contributed to the success of this event, starting with IRX and the IOP. I just want to thank everyone of you. Okay, so sometimes we just find ourselves. When you say we, I mean teachers. We find ourselves buried in loads and piles of paper, as you can see here. We just find ourselves under the rain of sheets of paper, loads of paper, piles of paper, especially by the end of the semester. Students' assignments, exams, quizzes, papers are surrounding us everywhere. We are just sinking in an ocean of paper. Look at this desk. How many of you, by the end of the semester, find themselves buried like this? I am the first one. And how many of you get frustrated, depressed sometimes, looking for a student's paper, which is just lost? You cannot even find it. And you want to grade. The principal keeps calling you. Where are the students' grades? And you cannot find that single paper. I am one of those teachers. Depressed, frustrated. Sometimes I just have a headache looking for students' papers. And of course, you are asking for help. Help me sort out this dilemma. Everyone looks for solutions. But of course, thanks to IOP and to IRX, which have given us this chance to come here and to meet wonderful teachers who have taught us a lot of things, including how to solve our problems back home. That's why we are suggesting a tool that will help you solve your problem. But before that, let us see some figures. Look at the total US waste.
This is not only for some areas or some different area, but it can be used for all content area.
The whole US waste.
English or some activity that you would like to do.
Of course, when we speak about paper,
at the same time,
where does our mind go?
Tool.
Look outside, what do you see?
Trees. Now, I'll be discussing
paper automatically waste trees. And of course, trees are the only thing we can rely on to survive. Without trees, we cannot survive a minute or a second.
The inner circle that we have here.
Every school in the United States consumes 74 trees. Bashir High School consumes 74 trees. Indiana Senior High consumes 74 trees. The average school spends between 30 and 50,000 once a year. So we are affecting the environment and we are wasting our money. There are lots of things you can do with that amount of money. Lots of things.
Increases thinking skills. So if it is a grade schooler,
what sort of uncoated virgin printing and office paper uses 24 trees?
For this double bubble map, we have here comparing contrasting.
4 trees. So whenever you ask a student to write an assignment on a piece of paper, just remember this figure. Just remember this figure. Okay?
Now on the fourth.
So it's time
to sort
out this problem. It's time to go.
It's because this one gives you the organization.
One of my objectives, which I had before coming here, was to go paperless. To teach my students, to give instructions, to give assignments without relying on paper. I want to have all.
Because this one gives you the whole and the parts.
Data here on this piece of machine,
so the
on this computer, on a flash drive. Mixed up with loads of paper that I just find on on my desk every semester and every so the tools that we suggest is Moodle. There are many tools that you can use to go paperless. Google Classroom, Moodle, Evernote, and so on and so forth. Many tools that we have been taught here, and all of them are very useful. Some of them will help teachers go paperless to prepare their lessons and so on, and some of them will help teachers give instruction to their students. So I will give the floor to my colleague Youssef Louidani from Morocco to speak about this tool. Just before he moves on to his presentation, I'd like to mention something very important. It's all about that decision we make at a particular moment. That decision is the only one that can make change. Personally, I have never thought about my ability to go paperless. But when I saw examples, when I saw some teachers who are performing in front of my eyes, who are doing great with those technological tools, I became convinced of the fact that every teacher can become paperless. And of course, it's not possible to go 100% paperless. But at least if we save 1 tree, 2 trees a year, it's something of great fun. Okay, so let's give the floor to Youssef.
Thank you very much. So as you can see, our professional development module is about Moodle. It is actually a great way to go paperless. So to start, what do you know about Moodle? Can we brainstorm? What do you guys know about Moodle? Just in 1 or 2 words. Just online learning. Paperless, it helps to go paperless. Okay, good. So it is a platform, like you said. It's an online platform. It's exactly like a classroom, physical classroom, but this one is virtual. Right? Moodle is an acronym that stands for Moodler. It means the platform is organized in terms of modules or topics, and it's object-oriented. Teachers teaching different disciplines can use it: English, maths. It's dynamic. It is a learning environment. This kind of platforms is called the LMS or the VLE, a learning management system or a virtual learning environment. Basically, we can summarize this into it is a learning creation system. It allows teachers to manage and create their teaching and learning virtually. Moodle is good not only for schools and classrooms, it's also good for other places. You can see here in hospitals and many other places. There are 5 guiding principles behind using Moodle. First of which is that we are all potential teachers as well as learners. You know, teaching is an ongoing and lifelong process. For example, here we are teachers, but we have learned a lot about Moodle, and we are sharing it now. So we teach and learn at the same time. Second, we learn a lot by watching others. This happens a lot on Moodle as students interact between each other and they see what other students post on the platform and learn from that. Understanding others transforms us, and we learn well by creating and expressing for others. Moodle is an extra time for students to create and to get to know each other. The teacher has more time to spend with their students. It's not only the time they spend together in the physical classroom. Moodle gives the teachers more time to spend with the students and, of course, to get to know each other more and interact more. The last principle says we learn well when the environment is flexible and adaptable to suit our needs. Can I ask you a question? What are two keywords we have in this principle? Two keywords we have in this. We learn well when the environment is flexible and adaptable to suit our needs. Flexible, adaptable. Thank you very much. So Moodle is very flexible. When the teacher gives an assignment to students, they have more time to do it in the preferable time that they want. It's adaptable to suit our needs. This is also another very good advantage about Moodle is that it helps the teachers to cater for the different learning styles that exist in the classrooms. On Moodle, we can post videos, podcasts, voice threads. So this helps us to cater more for our diverse learners. Now, there are more than 85 million users of Moodle in the world in 227 countries, and Moodle comes in more than 72 languages. This is not convincing for us to join this community and use. So how does it work? It's very easy. The course is the basic unit. So a platform, it is organized in terms of courses or modules or topics. You choose how you want them to be organized. So we can imagine Moodle like a community with different rules, different groups, and different permissions, just like a real classroom. This is a student here on Moodle. Students can answer questions, they can comment, they can post. We can also have other people join the Moodle platform, like parents or principals, but you have the right to change their role. They can, if a parent wants, for example, to join your Moodle platform, they can have the role of a guest. They cannot post, they cannot change anything, which is another way. So to start Moodle, it's very easy. It has been very difficult before last year. People need a lot of softwares, programming language, etc. But now they solved that problem. That's why they call it Moodle Cloud. So all you need to do is to create your account. Our colleague is going to show you how to do it in a less than 1 minute. So once you create your account, you just go to the platform, you sign in with your username and password. The first thing you need to do is click on the turn it on, and then click on create a course. Once you do this, you have a page like this. This is actually a course that I created. I teach business English back in my country. So it looks like this. Once you click on the course, it gives you this page, as you can see. It is organized in terms of topics, and you can post forums, discussion boards. You can put in documents, etc. Another advantage of Moodle is that there are more than 400 Moodle compatible modules, plugins, filters, and by these we mean Flickr, Skype, YouTube, Google Docs. You can all have these included in your Moodle platform. Moodle is all free. You can create your account for free. You can use it, you can share it, you can personalize it. It's all free. So now, what can you use Moodle for? You can use Moodle to create a discussion board for students, a wiki to collaborate. You can post in assignments for them. You can conduct opinion polls. You can put in blogs. You can use it also as good resource to store. If you have documents, Word documents or PowerPoint documents or whatever, you can store them on Moodle. You can have a quiz, a calendar to organize or listen if you want to put a video or something, glossary, a database if you want to collect statistics or information about the performance of your students in an exam or a quiz. A great book to evaluate or just chat about a certain topic or a message if you want to notify your students about something. So as you can see here, Moodle is a very, very useful tool, not only to go paperless, but also to increase the effectiveness of the teaching learning process. So my colleague Ronald is going to take over to talk more about Moodle.
Thank you so much. My task is very simple to show you the 5 steps of getting the Moodle, creating the platform. It is very, very easy, as you have said. Very few steps, you get it and start using it. But before I take you through the steps, what do you have to say about Moodle? Well, at least what you have seen, what do you have to say about Moodle? Will you be able to use it? Is it good for solving the problem of the paper? Okay, so let me take you through the steps of creating the platform. It is very secure. It is flexible. As you've seen the interface, you can change the way you want your course to be like. You can change the pictures. You can change everything. So it is very, very flexible. It is also secure in such a way that the administrator has the right to change the roles of the individuals according to his. So everything can be added and edited. You can assign roles. You can assign students. You can assign teachers. You can assign someone as a guest, then administrator. So I'm rushing through to take you to the steps of. It comes in different languages, over 72 languages. As you can see, we did not list all of them, but you can get it in over 72 languages. Even us East Africans, we have Kiswahili there, so we can use it. How do you get it? There are basically 5 steps. And if you have your laptop, you have your tablet, you have your computer, in less than 1 minute, you can be able to get Moodle. Being a web-based software, it is hosted on a server. So people who made Moodle made it very good that we can access it free. They can host it free of charge for us who cannot pay lots of money for it. So you just go to moodlecloud.com. The link is here. Just go to moodlecloud.com. That is the first step. Then when you reach there, because you have not yet created an account, just come here and sign up. Just go there and sign up. Those who have computers, you can follow the process. You click sign up, you enter your information. You enter your information. It's just your name, site name. What do you want your site to be called? So, posting location depending on where you are, and you prove that you are not a robot. Okay. I use any name. I live USA. I'm not a robot. Why they select the food? Why are they bringing this? Okay. Oh, matching images. This, all the food. This and this. Yeah. Okay. Get my site. Now that is the page where we enter your name, email address, and the telephone number. Okay. Um, mm, uh, Actually, you will receive a link in your email telling you that you have opened an account. So that's why they ask us for the account. You can also verify using your telephone number. So I use this telephone number because 72446. So you can enter any telephone number depending on the country. Sorry, this one is already existing. Let me use account already exists. Let me change this email to is this account already exists with yeah, I think anyone should give me the telephone number, any telephone number you can use. 724. No, they send a code. 724. You have it there? 801 1937. Okay. Okay. So they ask you to verify by entering a code. So you must have this message which you are supposed to enter there. Zero one 2976. Okay. So after verifying the number, finally you enter your password and you continue. So the password, okay, all done. Your very own Moodle site, free. Never you log in. So now they are taking us to the exact site for you to start working. So you can see that it can take you less time to get this. With this, you can do whatever you want. You can add a course, you can add different students in class. You can open a discussion board. You can put YouTube videos. You can put pictures. You can anything that you want. So briefly, that is how the site will look like. We are limited by time, but I've showed you how you can add some courses and inviting members. Thank you so much. Let me call other persons to talk.
Hello friends, we are last phase of our presentation. I have the duty of making you recollect what you have been through during this last 25 minutes. So let's come to the session, or the last part of the session, wrap up. Let's have one of the first questions that we had they are asked. So we are ready to take back one box of what that has been talked about here. And the first question is this. What is it? This was one of those questions that user put up on this. Could you give a one-word answer to it? It's a I mean, it is that you understood of it. What Moodle is. Yeah. Let's take another question to have up our mind. What can it be? So one thing is what it is, and the next question is what can it be? Yeah. Okay, let's have another question for our mind. What will it be? We are sizing down. So ask us, as a teacher, what will it be for you? Yeah. Teaching tool. Yeah. The platform. I have a word for the first question. What can it be? It's a resource. And one word for the last question. What will it be? That which you decide. Your decision. Yeah. So if I use this one word for what Moodle is all about, I know you are going to be thinking too hard in front of the computer. Will it make you fat? Because you just talked about paperless, not moving around, so you have less stress and more sleep with Moodle. Will it make you fat? Yeah, you wish. So it is a facilitator. It facilitates, makes you paperless, makes you contact, makes you organize, which it facilitates. This was another word that was picked up by Yusuf. It's an adapter. So it's not static, it's dynamic. It gives you something, but you make something more out of it. So you adapt to your situation. And it's a trainer. So it's not, once again, what I say is it's not static, it's dynamic. It trains you and it trains the world that you are in. Classroom, office, wherever it is. Does it sound good? Yeah, definitely. It will be comfortable. So I have a few questions for you to answer. Once again, what I say is it's not static, but you can and it trains the world that you are in. Classroom. Also, so the questions that you write few things that you have learned about Moodle. Definitely.
Okay.
And the second question we have on the board is jot down 2 ways in which Moodle will be useful to you. And the third question is jot down 2 things you would like to know about Moodle or more about Moodle. As the clock ticks the last moments, may I wind up. So thanks to everyone. Welcome for your questions.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about Moodle? Yes.
Well, basically, in my case, in Morocco, we use bloggers, use websites, cities. Most of the students would have access to the internet. They have computers, they have laptops. So this can be very useful in Morocco.
Yeah, for my country, we have not been using a lot of technology, but we have internet access. So I think we shall be able to use this because I learned it from here. So I want to take it back, certificate back.
From India, which is part of the world, there is not much usage of internet in terms of this type of Moodle and other platforms. But I believe in a progressive future will come.
And something very important, even if some students wouldn't have access to the internet, and going back to differentiated classroom, or differentiated learning, we can use Moodle with some students, and the other students we can use the paper-based approach to learning. So when students don't have access to the internet, should not be seen as a hindrance towards starting using the technology. Because maybe in 2 years' time or 3 years' time, I am sure that most students or all of them will have access to the internet. Because as you know, the technology tools are getting cheaper and they are spreading widely. Just look at the smartphones. Maybe 2 years ago, you should have been very rich to buy a smartphone. But now, even kids have smartphones. So we should start working with with 10 students, 20 students, and maybe in 2 years' time we can disseminate the use of. Yes, another question.
Any kind of technology actually requires people to change their behavior and their attitude. How do you anticipate the practical other faculties or departments will receive this? Will they be open to it? Will they be willing to try, or will it take some kind of leadership plan to get them on board?
From my background, I would say I have two types of people. There are a few who are so interested in using technology to make it really attractive for teaching our students, so that they don't get bored out of the classrooms, also to bring in concepts that are not familiar to them in their daily lifestyle, but they are part of their syllabus. So by using technology or internet, they can bring. But there is another section of teachers who are reluctant because it demands a lot of latency that are changing their own perspective. But when we have the front runners who are interested who can perform and can do it as it's possible, I believe that is will come. That's my perspective.
I think it is normal to we shall get some resistance, some more, but for me, I'm planning to start using it as a person within my department. And again, trying to spread good news, how good it is, how important it is, how it can save you from losing paper. And I am planning also to carry out workshops to teach us how to use it with the help of my friends who I know are interested in this. Because there are some people who really are interested in technology in my school and the country technology. So I will use those ones to teach other teachers.
The same thing in Morocco, I think. Also, the teachers are very much into professional development and specifically using more technology in their teaching. So I think most of the teachers, at least in my idea, would be very, very interesting to know more about it.
What I see is that challenge
Yeah, the idea is not to change the real classroom with Moodle. For me, I will use Moodle as a complementary space for students. It can be for a club that students will be able to use Moodle once a week. So I believe at least once a week they'll be able to use the internet, either in their schools or outside their schools. I think they'll be able to use it. So Moodle is, as we said, very flexible. So it's up to the teacher, according to their students, to know how much their students can be access to the Moodle, how much they can use Moodle.
For me, I see Moodle as a tool to go to what is called the flipped classroom. So personally, I cannot flip my classroom without using a technological tool. So this is how I see the use of Moodle or other technological tools in my own classroom. So I will use it as a reference for students, for teachers, and for researchers. This is something very important, to use Moodle platform as a source of data for future resources. So it's a good starting point for qualitative or quantitative research because everything is there. What you need to do is just to use those pieces of information to see the outcomes of that tool. Because according to the refer to the previous question, if you want to convince your colleagues, the principals, everyone working in the educational field, you need the outcomes. This is the outcome of using this technological tool in the classroom. That's why it's very important to link all educational approaches and all educational theories into one single theory, because after all, it is a student-centered mode of teaching.
As for me, I can say in my school, I'm lucky that it's a boarding school. So students spend most of their time in class. They come at the beginning of the term, they go home at the end of the term. So if I give them assignments using Moodle, they can access that at night because they come to trips, even in the morning, even on weekends. So community education. And we have very good experience. That's me.
Yeah, I think Eunice mentioned one of the examples is that to show them the product. For you as a teacher, you need to use Moodle for a certain time when a student experiment with it, and why not provide workshops for teachers, and you show them the product, you show them what you've been doing with Moodle. I think this is the best way.
I can reverse this question. What can students teach us about Moodle? Because I know what I know for sure is that students are quite ahead of us in terms of technology. We are always looking old-fashioned. So just believe in your students' capability. Just throw the idea to them, and you will see a lot of wonderful things that those students will do with Moodle. Maybe you can just throw the idea of a contest between students who can create an activity or something like that. So there are many things that you can do with this technological tool. And of course, I think very important, Moodle is not, it's just a platform. And as you mentioned before, there are many plugins and so on and so forth that you can use with Moodle. So Facebook, Flickrs, and so on. So all these things can be used to make Moodle something that is dynamic, interactive, and of course it will enhance students' creativity. And for me, I always have this idea in my mind. Maybe it will be some sort of shocking or something like that, but this idea really haunts me. we should not always do things for students. Many times we have to do things for ourselves. For instance, if, for example, I don't have any students in my classroom who have access to the internet, why don't I start using Moodle for myself, just for myself? Why don't we think about these kinds of things? That's why I don't totally agree with the idea of student-centeredness, because in this way we just regard or ignore the centrality of the teacher in there, because the teacher, after all, is a learner, and we should never give up this trait of humans being learners. So sometimes I just do things for myself, because if you just focus on the student, sometimes students will disregard you, will just ignore what you are saying, will just not be motivated to learn from you. So what should you do at that time? Should you just give up? We should not. We should do things for ourselves. And at that time, if students learn from us, that's okay. That's what we want. But if they don't interact with us, if they don't show interest, at that time, I am learning. I am learning. So this is my idea. I hope that you will share this.
So as you can see how Moodle is flexible, I intend to use Moodle to make my teaching more student-centered. Eunice is kind of the opposite. So as you can see here, it's up to the teacher to choose the best way that will suit their own needs and the needs of their students. Using stuff from actually we have not experimented with that kind of thing, so
Yeah, there are
did you try it? So we have somebody who tried it already.
Yes. Yeah, but at least with the Windows, Mac computers. Yes, you can use that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.